So here we are at the Living Center in London, Ontario with Shantree Kacera, the co-director of the center. And we're here to explore the power of the elements. We're here to also, um, first of all, actually tell us a little bit of what you guys do here at the Living Center, and then we'll kind of explore the power of the elements.
Okay. Well, the center has been here since 1983. It has evolved over the years of what's been offered here. I would say there's three parts of the Living Center. When we offer research, we do demonstration, what we're actually offering here, and then there's also the educational part, going from holistic health all the way to ecological awareness, ecological experiences with people.
The Living Center has been a great tool in my healing journey, and I want to touch or explore the power of the elements as a foundation for healing through Ayurveda, through forest gardening, through how they have, they really are the core of our being. And when we become aware of that, how much strength and empowerment that can bring into our lives.
Mm-hmm. Well, the elemental forces, the five elements, air, fire, water, earth, and ether, are the transformational and nourishing of how a landscape has changed, how the elements move through the planet, and how they create, and how they change the landscape. So those five elemental forces is how our inner landscape gets created, how we get nourished. It's our first nourishment, the breath of life. Solar energy comes on the planet, it's taken to our body, the power of the sun. The water that moves through the streams, the oceans, the rivers, that we need that water coming into our bodies to create who we are and who we're becoming as we go through the seasons, as we go through life. And also with the earth, I mean the generosity of the earth, the life, the nutrients that are in that soil that make our bones, make our physical body, and the space that we have to have for things to grow, for us to grow in our consciousness and our well-being. So to me, the elements are foundational, and the more we understand them, the more we for them to support us in our evolutionary healing journey that we're all on while on planet Earth.
So let's kind of go in a little bit more in detail. The element of ether and how it can be a foundation for healing, and the element of air and fire. Just a little bit so that people that do not know much about them have a little bit more to kind of take on with them.
Well, when I think of ether in space, it sometimes feels people have a harder time grasping that because it's invisible. We know it exists there between us, between each of our cells, between different plants. We know it's there. To me, I always think of ether as sort of the bowl that holds the other four elements, that holds things to be there. And I believe in the world that we live in now, that element of space is overoccupied by the busyness of our world, how much noise there is in the world, the speed that we're going at, that we're not really paying attention to the subtleties of what exists in our own consciousness, in our own minds, in our own emotions. And it becomes like a blur because there is so much speed happening there. And to me, that is the place where healing can really happen, when you have the opportunity to be with a tree or just sitting and meditating or connecting into that place of stillness, into that place of quietness. So that's how I would really emphasize and articulate how important space is now than our ancestors had when they had more time to just be. So the speed that we've created our modern day culture is just so fast.
And then air. So
air. To me, well, air from an Ayurvedic perspective really corresponds a lot to the nervous system, the nervous function of our body, nervous system, mind. and how also that has been really changed by the modern day world, and I'm going to say probably a large part because of technology, and how our nervous system is so stressed, how our nervous system is so, once again, that speed that's there, our nervous system is moving so much faster in our physical body. And when people talk about climate chaos, of how that's disrupting it's the air element that's really twirling and moving so fast on the planet and causing that kind of chaos. And obviously we feel that by the extremities of really hot to really cold within a matter of a few days. That affects our inner air landscape that we have inside. So once again, it's being in a place where we feel protected and held from that extreme irregularity and how fast air is moving through the environment. So that, once again, is slowing down the mind and becoming still for the nervous system to feel safe and held.
And from air, we move on to fire. Our passion, our
As you know, that's one of the elements that I explore very much in depth from an Ayurvedic perspective of being our digestive fire, being, like you said, our passion, our heart. It's the part where we have our fuel, we've got the energy to go forth. We can see our world more clearly because there is that illumination and clarity. And fire is, I mean, as I worked with so many people over the years, the thousands of people I've worked with, how common it is to hear the very first thing that starts to happen for people is that feeling of burnout, of exhaustion, depletion, lack of strength, lack of energy, lack of vitality, harder seeing their way through the challenges that they're going through, through a day or through a week. That fire is much more depleting people now than it was, 30 years ago or 20 years ago when I was working with people. It's that digestive enzymatic activity, metabolism, how well we're actually absorbing our experience, how well absorbing our food, how essential it is to really take in things to build our fire. But it's also looking at the place of where did my fire go? Where did I use up my fire? And I think what's happening is people are just giving so much attention to here, there, everywhere, and depleted. And yet, all of us are having this whole experience on this planet. There is so much fire that's available to us when we see something beautiful, when we see beautiful color, when we smell a fragrant aromatic plant, or something in the garden, or when we're preparing a meal. So that fire is always there for us. That seems like what people are doing is they're not taking time to absorb something fully, but it gets dissipated so quickly. So,
fire. I think also part of our journey has been that we've become a bit disconnected from our heart, where that fire also is, where that passion, where that openness is. So how do we bring fire back into our lives by connecting with our hearts and living more from a place of love rather than fear, with an open heart, and with taking care of ourselves, but taking care of our species and our planet as a whole.
one of the last retreats we offered in Costa Rica, a few years ago. And there was only one question to the whole 7-day retreat, is what is your life's purpose? And every day people would come and they would journal and write what it was and come together, and it's like, okay, go deeper. What's your life purpose now? So they kept going deeper, and these layers of what is your life's purpose?
Right.
But the question was not what are you doing? There's not an action. So in other words, your life's purpose doesn't matter if you change careers. Your life's purpose is actually still the kernel, still the same. And it was amazing how deep people went. Like it's not just asking a question for half an hour, 20 minutes, or even a day, but it's like every day kept going deeper and deeper. and even the emotions, even stuff that was coming up, of people feeling that they lost it, or they actually couldn't even find what is my life's purpose, but not a doing thing. And so anyways, that part you're bringing in is a real key thing. And a lot of people are dissatisfied. They have lost touch with their heart. And they got up here and come back to this place of where there's that heartbeat, that emotional, deep connection. Why am I here?